Yeah. Hi, everyone. Welcome back. So, in this segment, we will be talking about the Pier work. So, Pier basically, it is a technical term that is used for the columns that you can see in the metro construction. So, firstly, we dealt with previously, we have actually dealt with piling works, the basic foundation that was necessary for the metro construction. So let's see what this definition is got. Pure construction. So pier is a substructure of a viaduct that is supported by closely spaced piles and transfer all the loads from the superstructure to the ground through the pile foundation. So this is like an intermediate component for any metro structure or for any metro construction that you can take forward. So there are multiple segments that will be coming above a pier. Pier is nothing but the whole column that will be providing this support. There are so much of live loads that will be working out. Like I mentioned, for all the frequencies, for every 5 minutes of an interval, there will be live load that will be passing through, right? So in a similar way, they will be transferring all of these particular live load along with the dead loads through these particular piers, and then it will be distributed among the pile caps, and slowly it will be moved, it will be transferred from the piles to the ground. So there are multiple stages with respect to these peering works. Firstly, let's see how it starts. First, we have the starter pier. What exactly do I mean by starter pier is that, see, these reinforcement works that you are seeing over here. So this is with the pile cap work, which I had actually shown you with the previous images. So once this pile cap work is done, this is where the reinforcements are given extra for the piers to start. So that is why it is called as a starter pier work. So this is the very first stage with respect to the piering works, for the column works that has to be happening with respect to the pier works in metro construction. Then moving forward, this whole rebars. So when we spoke about BBS, in the BBS section, we have spoken what is the length of the whole bar. It is of about 12 meters, was I mentioned. Sometimes these piers, if that particular design is required, it might go up to 20 meters, or it can go up to 20 to 25 meters also in some special cases. So that time there should be overlapping of two bars that should be happening, and that will be happening in two different stages. So helping the cranes, definitely all of the placement of the rebar works will be put it up. And then moving forward, we will have the scaffoldings. So scaffolding or the shuttering stage is nothing but, see, this is with the multiple levels. Usually how the concreting actually happens in metro construction, I will tell you. This is with the reinforcement work, like I had already mentioned. So this is with stage one. Usually for any pier, when a concreting work has to take place, it will be taking place in two different stages. So that is where the first work of reinforcement work is ready, and then this particular scaffoldings or the shuttering work will be provided. So this is in the market. Actually, the scaffolding works are the ones which are more of expensive regions for any contractors or the ones who will be executing this particular project. So now over here, what happens? One stage of scaffolding is already established. So once this scaffolding has been constructed, then there will be an opening on the top of this particular first stage of pier. That is where you will have certain amount of gap between the reinforcement works as well as the scaffolding, out of which the concreting work will take place. Once the concreting work takes place, then this particular shutter will be moved upwards. So that will be for stage two. That is for the stage two of shuttering. These are called as the staging process in any pier construction work that we are talking. So once all of this particular thing is done, then the de-shuttering work takes place. Once the de-shuttering work is done, then if required, there is one coat of painting that will be made. So using vibrators, definitely once the scaffolding is all fixed, then the concrete will be placed with the help of boom placers. And there'll be pretty much what do you call it? Vibrators will be used for a clean finish, to happen for a clean finish like this. There shouldn't be any unnecessary honeycombing works that should happen, or in order to avoid all of these particular crackings. So all these particular stages will be taking place only when proper vibrators are used. So one more thing, before concreting work actually takes place, you'll have to make sure that the inner walls of all these particular scaffolding, right, it should be completely oiled so that there won't be any unnecessary sticking of all of the concrete work with respect to the scaffolds that we have been used. So here I'll show you some scaffolding with respect to the pier and the pier cap. See, pier cap is basically nothing but, now previously we spoke, what is that? We spoke about what exactly a pile is, what exactly a pile cap is. So this is about pier. This is from this pier starts from the ground level. So this is from the starter pier, and this top edge, it is called as the pier cap. Sometimes this can be happening at cast in situ, so it can be casted inside, or there will be pre-casted pier caps that will actually be come and it will be installed there. Okay, so over here in this scaffolding, this is the pier work scaffolding that you have you already seen. Here from the top inside, when you see that oiling of that particular work from the inner walls of the scaffolding is very much important. Then comes, see, this is one of the scaffolding images of pier cap. So over here also in a similar fashion, based on the design, whole of this setting of the scaffolding will be made based on the design as per the drawings that has been received from the client. Out of multiple revisions also will be made in some cases. Few pier caps will be of this size. Few pier caps might have at the wider wings. So it completely depends on the design of the project that has been made for that particular stretch of the metro construction. This is going to be the pier cap. And once all of these things is fixed, the concreting has been made, like I mentioned about the vibrators, in different staging process, all of these particular concreting will be done. Once it is completely dried, once it is completely cured, then we have the final stages of these pier. So this is the final stage of the pier, and this is the finishing stage with respect to the pier works. So the foundation part is done. Now we have actually constructed all of the columns, also providing these pier caps where it will be transferring the load from the upper segments. So segments, definitely I will be talking in the next segment. In the next segment, I'll be talking about segments. So here what happens, on top, I think you can see these square blocks. They are actually called as bearing pedestals. So bearing pedestals are nothing but, there shouldn't be in order to prevent all these horizontal movement between the segment as well as the pier, that is where the bearing pedestals actually come into the picture. They usually avoid any of the horizontal movement happening between two structural segments. So by this, we are coming to the end of pier construction. So one last thing I would like to tell with respect to pier is these pier designs, right? So it can be in the form of a square, it can be in the form of a circle, or it can be in the shape of eccentric shapes. So these are multiple kinds of various types of piers that we can actually design. But again, that is completely based on the design that has actually been awarded with respect to the project that is taking place. So by this, we are completing the piering stage. So in the next segment, let's talk completely about how we will be having individual segments, how exactly they have been installing, and that time we will get to know a clear picture of the whole metro construction. So thank you so much.